Hey everyone, so today we have this rare experience where we have three Nicolo Gaglianos in the same room all together, okay? I have been playing on the Nicolo Gagliano for 27 years, so I am really partial to this instrument. And most recently, the Gatchell Collection has added another Gagliano. We have this Gagliano that we've had with the slab cut back, and we've recently acquired this new Gagliano. And Brett, our expert luthier, is going to tell you a little bit more about the instruments, but first, I'm just going to tell you about my experience about Gaglianos and what it means to play on a fine instrument such as this. So as noted in the previous videos, I talked about sort of a baseline sound. And every violin has a certain baseline sound in terms of feeling narrow to medium to wide. And again, like I said, I'm more partial to something I would say narrow to medium. However, these violins, because of how old they are, really have a broad range, and you can't necessarily pinpoint one sort of range or say that it's narrow or wide. This violin has such a multitude of colors, and it's mostly because of the incredible age. Under the ear, it doesn't sound very loud, but you know that it's projecting because of the, it's just so sweet. And then eventually when you get away from it, you hear how it's throwing sound, and that's what's so fun about playing an instrument such as this. And again, I would say there's just the color, the palette of colors is just so broad, and there's just so dark, rich colors that you can get from these instruments just because it's so old, and it's, it's like fine wine at a certain point. So, Sasha, we talked about your sort of experience with violins, and I was telling her, when I finally played a Nicolo, I knew that this was an instrument that I just had to have, and it would just fit my hand so much. Now, you currently, what do you play on at this point?
I play on a Romanian instrument that is not quite as fine as this. And what I really appreciate about this sound is that you get those colors across all the strings. It's not just like the G string is really nice, but the higher notes are not. This is just evenly beautiful across the whole violin as compared to lesser instruments.
And I have to say, these two instruments are just next level instruments, in terms of, as a violin professional like myself, I've been playing with the Philadelphia Orchestra a long time, and I knew there came a point where I needed next level instruments. And I would even say some of these Nicolos are different amongst one another. I have to say this one with the slab cut is really special in that it has a even more dark tone, and it's probably a little bit more sort of bold. Whereas this one is again very sweet and also bold, but it's just hard to kind of say which one's better. I think to a certain extent it becomes personal. And just to have two of the Nicolos in the collection is saying something. It's just remarkable to have. And again, mine is sitting right over there, and it's, I'll take a picture and show you all three, because there is definitely sort of aspects of all three are very individual, but still very Nicolo. So let me grab Brett, and he'll tell you a little bit more about the history of these violins and how they're different.
So this Nicolo Gagliano is 1760. The unique part about it is it's a slab cut one-piece back. It's got the standard Gagliano shaping, which is nice and wide in the middle a little bit. So very nice example of his instruments. And let's see our other Gagliano here. Now this one is a little different. It's got a book-matched quarter sawn back on it, and a unique thing about this is it was actually repaired by Joseph Gagliano, who did the scroll work on this, his son. So a very unique instrument, and also it retains its original setup from J&A Bear.
So my plan for next week is to bring this up to Philadelphia. I want to perform on it with the orchestra. It's always great to kind of have the violin in your hands when it comes to crunch time and playing it when it really matters. So stay tuned. We're going to be shooting more video, and I'll actually play it from the stage, and you can listen to it from there. So we'll see you all soon. Thanks for watching.